But sometimes if a situation is bad enough, which I hope it doesn't get there for somebody, but if it is bad enough, it won't matter what people say because you will say, you know what, this is not right for me. This is not it. And I know that this is not it. And I've gotten to the breaking point and I'm making this choice. And I've been there too.
Yeah.
And it's like nobody else is experiencing what you're experiencing. Who are they to tell you?
Exactly. No one else is living your life. We are all the main characters of our own story. We are not the main characters of other people's stories.
We're all the extroverted extroverts of our own story.
We're all the extroverted extroverts of our own story.
Exactly.
Yeah. Almost dying taught me how to live. Being struck by a car left me in a 3.5-week coma with 15 broken bones and 16 surgeries to complete, including brain surgery. However, I woke up from that coma in an even greater place than I ever foresaw for myself. How? The universe will guide you out of the darkness and into the light if you allow it. Often, spirituality comes off as too highbrow. I'm not about that. Welcome to the podcast that talks and teaches about it through the lens of humor. Together, we'll harness positive energy and use it to work with the universe, all while giggling the entire time. Welcome to Gabriella Rebranded. Win most, lose some. All right, guys. Welcome back to Gabriella Rebranded. This episode is really special because it is season 2, but it is also the first episode with a repeat guest.
I'm honored. Thank you so much, everyone.
Say hi to Dom as usual. As
I'm here a lot.
She's here a lot. But everyone who loved her in season 1 or who hasn't watched it yet or listened to it yet, here she is. This is Dom. She is an ICF certified life coach. She is my life coach. And today we are here to talk about intuition versus attack thoughts, which
it's a really good topic.
Is a really good topic, and it's really important. I think it's important for everyone, but especially as a woman in your 20s. It's really important to distinguish between attack thoughts and intuition, and it's really, 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 really hard.
It is really hard. I feel like the world has a lot of opinions that you internalize as a woman, and because of that, I feel like it's become increasingly difficult to know the difference between attack thoughts and intuition. People get it mixed up a lot.
Yeah. I for one know that I mix it up a lot. It's something I'm trying to get better now, and I know I mix it up a lot. And in addition, people have a hard time trusting their intuition.
Yeah, definitely. So sometimes you don't know what it is. So it's like, how can you trust it if you don't even know what your intuition is?
Exactly. Or it's like all the facts you're getting don't add up with what you feel. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like, but I just feel like it's this way, but there's X and there's Y and there's Z. And I know there's X and there's Y and there's Z, but I still feel Q. And yeah. And it's very hard. But I think the hardest thing literally the hardest is intuition versus attack thoughts, because I know I've been trying to really hone this. And what's so hard about it is there have been times where I'm like, I am so fucking sure.
Yeah, you're like positive.
I'm positive. And then, no, that's not it at all. And you were fully listening to your attack thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, it's taken me personally a long time to figure out how to distinguish the two. Yeah. And it can still be hard. I do talk about this a lot with clients. I know we've talked about this, and you've gotten like so much better at it too. It's a journey. No one's perfect at it. We're gonna keep getting better.
I'm working at it. Okay,
she's doing good, guys. She's doing well.
I'm doing my homework.
Yeah, but I would say like the main starting point that I usually bring up is, okay, what even is the difference? Like, what do we even describe them as? Because it's internal to us. Yeah. So it's not like anybody else can tell you. What I always say is intuition is always rooted in love and peace. And it's more of a feeling. It's not going to spiral you or make you anxious. It's kind of a neutral. Whether it's telling you to pursue something scary or do something big or something that you don't want, it's not going to be like, oh my God, my heart's pounding, I'm anxious. Yes. Like, let me spiral. What if this? What if that? And attack thoughts, on the other hand, are the opposite. So they're rooted in fear. Exactly. And those are the what if. They're normally negative towards yourself or a situation, whereas intuition is not negative, regardless of what it's telling you to do. It's just your intuition, a feeling.
But I do think intuition sometimes, it's like, don't do this thing.
Or
don't go there. Yeah. And that is always...
But again, that's like that's more of like a statement. It's not positive or negative. Don't do this. I wouldn't say it's negative or positive. Yeah. It's just a don't do this. It's a feeling that I shouldn't. Whereas an attack thought would be like, oh, I'm not good enough. If I do this, everything's going to go wrong. If I don't do this, like, I don't know. And that's where you get kind of spun up and we become anxious. So I feel like that's the main difference. And again, even knowing that is one thing, but then being able to actually be in a moment and feel the difference is another. Because sometimes we do get anxious and we are worried about something and we're like, oh my God, I don't know if this is my intuition or if it's just an attack thought or if I'm just worrying. And then it becomes really, really hard to disentangle the two.
Yeah. And I also feel like the difference between intuition and attack thoughts, but this you have to get so good at feeling. This is like, you have to do a lot of exercises to like really, you have to do your reps to get to know how this
feels. It's like the gym.
No, this is not like for freshmen in learning. This is like a sophomore level. Like, no, not sophomore. Why the fuck did I say sophomore? This is like a senior level.
AP.
Yes, the senior AP of like distinguishing between the feelings is your intuition. Even if it's bad, like don't do that thing or don't trust that person, it's a grounded bad.
Right.
It's a safe, not a safe bad, but it's like, this is a grounded warning, don't do that. Mm-hmm. Where an attack thought feels anxious.
Yes.
That's how I would mainly describe attack thoughts. They feel anxious. They feel like you're spiraling.
Heightened emotions, for sure.
Yes.
I totally agree with you. I had a really recent like encounter with this where I was even like kind of thrown a bit. And one thing you even said, like intuition, it's not logical necessarily. Like you can make your pros and cons lists and whatever we all do when we're freaking out about things. But sometimes you just know and you have that feeling and it does not add up with that. And that's when it becomes really hard too. Like I'm working on a separate business venture and I had an opportunity come up that on paper was pretty good and exciting. I might have wanted it to be a little bit different, but I really saw the value in it. And I just had this strong feeling in voice that was like, no, like you kind of deserve more than this. Don't do it. Like, do not do it. And I wanted to, right? Because I was excited and whatnot. But I felt it so strongly and I didn't want to listen to it. That's what made me a little anxious, right? It wasn't that in itself. It was me wanting to like rebel against it kind of.
Yeah.
And I kind of just sat with it, let it wash over me. And I was like, I have to trust myself on this one. I ended up not doing it. And then thank God, because later I did end up getting all that credit and exactly what I wanted. And then I went through with it. So it was one of those situations where I was like, okay, this isn't like what I want to hear necessarily. But when you learn to like feel that and sit with it and not make like a rushed decision, which I think attack thoughts do kind of rush you a bit. It feels very urgent.
Attack thoughts
That's when you can,
you.
Yeah.
I like that. Attack thoughts rush you. They do. And as a very impulsive person, it's not good because I want to listen to them because they rush me and I tend to be impulsive. So I'm like, oh, yeah, there we go. Like, boom. Like the button is pressed. I've been glocked.
No, totally. They do. And that's the part with like the anxiety and the spiraling and the emotions. Like it makes you feel like you have to make a decision or make a move or take action when that's not always the case. Obviously, if your intuition tells you to do something, the less time between when you have that intuitive feeling or thought and your action, the better, because that means you're trusting your intuition. But with attack thoughts, obviously it's the opposite. Like you don't need to act on those spurs of emotion and your anxiety. That's never helped.
Yeah.
You want to be in a calm, grounded place before you take action.
A decision made in anxiety has never helped. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like sometimes you think like you're taking that risk, you're taking that shot, you're going out there. But if it's made while you're anxiety, no.
Yeah.
No. If you're taking that shot, you're making that risk. But we've all done it.
I've done it.
Do it like every other day.
When you send that text when you're like spiraling, you're like, oh, shouldn't have done that.
Oh my God.
But I feel anxious and I have to.
I just
you
did
like
that.
Want control.
I just did that. And luckily I was able to recover because the person
said,
yes. Because no, not even because of that. The person goes, I can't tell if you're serious or joking. And I was like, I'm joking.
Yeah. Delete. That was a joke.
Because as soon as I said it, I was like, oh my God. I just listened to I was like, that's not good. Yeah. I was crashing out when I said that. And I was like, but luckily, they kind of gave me an out. They gave me an out by saying, I mean,
listen, no, we're all going to do it.
They gave me the choice to double down or not double down, and I said, I'm not fucking doubling down.
I'm going to head out.
I'm going to course correct. You gave me the option to course correct, so I'm a course correct.
Yeah, I for sure had that happen. Yeah. But it becomes easier, like I was saying, I mean, to distinguish the two. And kind of what you touched on in the beginning, I do feel like as a woman, we rely on other people's opinions and what society tells us and what we think we should do so much that we internalize that as fact. And I think that, in fact, I know that makes it really hard to trust ourselves, and trusting ourselves and intuition like hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about this in sessions before, right? Like how do we expect to trust our intuition on really big decisions when we can't even go out without asking our friends what to wear?
Do you think I should wear this or wear that?
Or like, what should I eat for lunch today? Or should I do this? Should I do that? Like, don't get me wrong. I love like friendship and I love connection. And I think we totally should ask for input and opinions on things. But as females, I have found that it's like everything. We need approval and we need validation, and we literally don't make any decisions for ourselves. And there's silly things, but that adds up, right? If you can't even make a decision without asking somebody on something small, how will you ever know how to trust yourself on something big?
Especially because a lot of times, like, other people's opinions aren't what you want to do or aren't what you want to hear.
Right.
Like, there's been so many times where I'm like told, and I'm like, but I don't like that answer. Okay, I'm going to use a stupid example.
No, please. No stupid examples. Let's go.
Stupid example, lip filler. I don't have...
It's a very relevant example in LA.
Okay. I don't have lip filler. But I asked someone, I was like, should I get lip filler? And they were like, no. So then I asked somebody else, should I get lip filler? And they were like, no. So then I asked another person, should I get lip filler?
Yes.
I kept asking people. And finally, one of my friends was like, you just want to get lip filler. And I was like, no. Yes. I was like, I haven't done it. But I was like, I think I'll become too powerful if I get lip filler. I think that's why people don't want me to get it. I'll become too fucking powerful. But no. I still don't have lip filler. I don't think I'm gonna do it.
You didn't ask me.
I don't think I'm gonna do it. Did I ask you?
I don't know.
Do you think I should get lip filler?
Well, now I feel like it's a trap.
Now you feel
whatever I say is a trap.
What do you think? No, I want your genuine answer. What do you think?
Well, I would say, what are your reasons? See, I'm going to life coach you. I'm going to turn it around and ask you questions. I'm not going to give you my...
I would like a bigger top lip. I think most girls would like a bigger top lip. Not most, but, it's always about the top lip. But, they can't... Every girl says they want to just do the top lip. And guys have said this too. But they say they want to just do the top lip, but they can't do that. That's like not... It's like they have to do both. It's like they have to do both.
What are your hesitations?
Because sometimes people get too much or they don't get them done well. And like, I'm just going to use the Sierra from Love Island example. She was roasted.
Very culturally relevant.
She was roasted on the internet for her lip filler.
Really?
They kept calling her like duck lips. So that's my hesitation, that it won't come out good. But I've also only want to do, like, if I did it, I would do like half a tube or whatever. So it'd be very slight. So I don't know.
I mean,
should we defy this episode and tell everyone to leave a comment about if I should get lip filler? Hey guys,
I'm actually here because I want you guys to tell Gabriella
tell me, should I get lip filler? Should I do it?
Leave a comment, let her know, and also recommend where she can go.
Yeah, recommend. Well, I kind of already know. I've had to see a lot of plastic surgeons in my day.
You know she's gonna go to the top of the top.
I've had a lot of work done.
You look great.
Thank you. I love telling people that I've already had a facelift. And oh my God, this was actually so funny. One time I was talking with someone and they were like, would you ever get a facelift? Like as an older person?
Yeah.
And I was, no. And I was like thinking about it and I was like, I don't know, because I've gone under the knife a bunch. So like, I get it, but something like, I think they look good if done right and not done too much, but something about them just like cutting into your skin, like something about that freaks me out. And as I'm giving like my whole explanation about how like that just freaks me out, the entire process, I was like, oh wait, I already had a facelift.
You're like, so my answer is yes.
I already did that when they removed my brain injury scar. So I was like, wait, been there, done that. So the answer is yes.
And after seeing what you look like, I think I too would get a facelift. So, I think my answer is yes now.
Exactly. It looked great. It looked great. Yeah. Now you could still see my scar right here, but I put like cover up on it.
Looks like it just hairline to me. Like a, you know what I mean?
But I've only started putting cover up on it at my launch for this. So like it hasn't been a thing.
I literally wouldn't even notice.
Also, I don't think anyone would notice. It's a thing that only you yourself notice. There are so many things like that where it's like only you yourself notice. Like it's so many things, basically everything. Also, my last surgery on this eye, no one thought my eye was fucked up. I thought it was terrible.
I don't even remember.
Exactly. See?
Like what the surgery was before or what it looked like.
But then once I got it fixed, everyone was like, oh my God, it looks so good. So I was like, see, there was an issue.
Like a subtle, maybe like something, a subtle difference.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway.
I support it.
But see, that was listening to my intuition. Everybody told me that it was fine and I didn't need to go through that 5th surgery. And I was like, but I want to.
Yeah, it's also like, if you want to do something.
If you want to do something, do it. Like, if you want to do something, do it.
Almost, I feel like, sure, it can be intuition, of course, but it's also like, make your own decisions.
If it only affects you, like it's a beauty procedure, do it. Make your own decisions. And actually, going off the clothes thing, how we're trained to like, we always text people like, should I wear this?
What are you wearing? What should I wear? What's better?
Clothes, I feel like, is the one thing that I, as you know, have really practiced that with.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I don't reveal my outfits. It's a surprise. And people will ask me what I'm wearing, and I'm like, it's a surprise.
I
don't
like
reveal
that.
my outfits.
And again, it seems like, I feel like if I were a man listening to this, I would not understand.
No.
I don't know if men ask each other anything.
No.
Do men?
I'll ask
men. Do you?
Do you guys ask each other anything? Do you guys ever ask each other what are...
And does it like change what you do? Or do you do what you want?
Yeah, like do you ever ask your guy friends, what are you wearing to the bar tonight?
Yeah. What are we wearing to the bar tonight?
What are we wearing?
Or like, ooh, I'm between these two things. What should I eat for lunch?
Yeah. Also,
I don't think a man's ever said that.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either. Sometimes I'll ask like, how casual is it?
Sure. No, and again, like that is, all of this has to be taken with a grain of salt. I'm not saying never ask somebody what they're wearing or for input or advice on something. I'm just saying if that's your first instinct before even like fully thinking about it yourself, you're already outsourcing it to your friends.
You're already outsourcing.
We don't need to do that.
So if you're already outsourcing the micro decisions, how are you ever going to make the major decisions?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You can't. The answer is you can't. You'll rely on everybody else too. And I'm not saying, again, I do think that we should seek counsel from others, but I also think that we aren't probably intentional enough with who we seek that guidance from. Because it does impact us like a lot.
Yes.
You should be really picky with who you ask for, input and advice.
That's something else I've gotten better with. I'm like, I only want the input from these select people. I don't want the input from person X, person Y, person Z. Like I keep using X, Y, Z, but I'm like, I only want input from these are why I trust their opinions or just this one person's opinion. I don't want input from everyone else, whoever else wants to offer it. Like I don't want to. I've even like sometimes gotten the habit of like when I'm doing something or deciding between the things and I'm asking someone's opinion, I tell them like, do not tell anyone else that I'm debating doing this because
you just want to keep it private.
I want it to be my choice. Mm-hmm. And when I make the choice, if it's a big choice, I want it to be like, oh, wow, she's a bad bitch. She made this brave choice. I don't want it to be like, oh, she consulted everyone.
100 people, yeah.
She needed the support of 1,000 people before she made that decision.
I think it's so badass too. And like people just make decisions like that, big decisions, because they are so rooted in their truth and what they know to be true and what they want. They don't ask others. Like, I think that's so cool.
Part of what is so hard about listening to your intuition is like the outside
the noise.
Pressure.
Yeah.
Noise, whether that's from your parents, from friends, blah, blah, blah. There's so often just outside pressure. And I remember I was in a situation like a year or two ago now, year and a half, whatever, maybe longer than, I don't know. But I was in a situation where like I was getting all these opinions that I didn't want. It was like someone else chose to go and tell everyone all about this situation that I was in. And the situation, like, it only affected like me and one other person. And I was getting, and this third party just went and like told everyone. And I was getting so much outside feedback about how to handle it. And it made me so stressed out, and it made me so upset. But it started making me so upset, and it started making me so anxious. And it was like I don't want to say very early on in my brain injury, but it was like a little after 2 years. So, and I'm going to be 4 in a couple weeks. But it was a little bit.
The toddler.
I know, it was a little after 2 years. And so like and I've healed so much since then. And I wasn't good. Something I really had to learn again was like how to stand on my own 2 feet and be like in my answers and my beliefs, because I was my brain had to heal so much, and it was so subdued and had to go such a long way that for a while it was like, you told me to do something, I did it. There was no critical thought. Like, you told me to do something, I did it. And you told me something about myself, I believed it, even if it wasn't true. So I was constantly like apologizing for things that weren't my fault or making stupid decisions because I was told to XYZ.
Drink.
Oh my God, drink. And
drink every time Gabriella says XYZ.
I'll
do it. Presume.
This was a little after 2 years. So I was like, I was getting better. Like, I wasn't at the, like, just point me in a direction. Like, but I wasn't good. Like, I wasn't good. So I instead was at the place where I wanted to trust myself. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, but I felt like I shouldn't, because just all these people were telling me not to.
Yeah.
And it was stressing me out so much. And everybody was telling me to do this, to do X, to do Y. Oh my God, I just did it again. But like, everyone else was telling me, and it was like, I wanted to trust myself because I was getting a little bit better at that. But everyone was telling me not to. And then luckily, I wound up speaking to the only other person that was involved in the situation. And they so grounded and so eloquently was just like, Gabriella, you are right. I agree with you. She's not going to do that. We are not going to do that. This doesn't involve anyone else. Why are we talking about this? And I was like, thank you. I was like, that's what I thought, but I couldn't say. I was like, that's what I thought, but I couldn't say.
You know what's really interesting? Like, obviously you have a brain injury, and that's a completely different. I mean, I've never been through that. Probably most people listening haven't been through that. However, what you're describing with, whatever people tell me, I believe, whatever people tell me to do, I'll do, like, very malleable in terms of what people are saying. I feel like that's most people. Whether they have a brain injury or not, and again, I'm not trying to compare the two, but like most people are in that phase where they aren't rooted in themselves. They're not grounded, just because, it takes a lot of conscious effort. Not everybody has gotten there. Maybe they're not there on their journey, whatever reason. So I would say, like, you weren't behind, really. Like, so many people that I talk to are in that boat.
Yeah.
And you might not even know it, right?
Exactly. Such a conscious effort. And something that I think is also really tied to your intuition is protecting your energy, which I'm trying to be I'm trying to be much better about doing. And I am. I'm really
for sure
doing good at this. But like, with protecting your energy, part of that is listening to your intuition, because your intuition obviously wants your energy to be protected. And when you choose a situation that's draining your intuition, that's almost listening to attack thoughts, because because
going against it is bad too. Yeah. Because eventually the signals, your intuition, like, if you keep pushing it down, pushing it down,
living in resistance,
it's going to be quieter and quieter and quieter. Like, you're not listening to it until it's going to be really hard to ever hear it, because why would it continue to, like, speak to you clearly if you're going to just ignore it?
Yeah. If you live in resistance, if you deny your intuition, you are draining it. It's so much energy to restrict. To restrict is so much energy, to not let things just be. And then also, like, listening to your attack thoughts winds up draining you, because it winds up putting you in situations that aren't restorative but are draining.
Right. I do want to say, like, I want to outline some ways that people can start to listen to their intuition, since most of us aren't.
Yes.
I've done this. Gabriella's done this. So let's all do it. So obviously the first one we talked about, start noticing where you're constantly seeking outside advice from others in really small ways. And stop doing that.
Like asking what to wear.
Like asking it to wear. Like
or
asking,
if you should get lip filler.
Just, yeah. All of those little things. You can eventually decide to seek counsel on those things, but first notice where you're doing it. And if you're a girl, maybe even if you're a guy, you'll probably see that you're doing this a lot. And if you make a conscious effort to just really check in with yourself and see what you want to do and what feels right. And again, not every decision is going to be like this huge intuitive moment. Yeah. But you start doing that on your own. That's like a really, really big step. I would say the second thing is to not make any decision, like we were saying, when you do feel really heightened in terms of emotion. I can almost guarantee you that is not your intuition.
Do not send a text to someone when you're crashing
out. Sometimes they're not gonna give you the out, like what happened to Gabriella. So in general,
when you're crashing out, don't send a text.
When you are trying to really feel in touch with yourself, like give yourself time. Ground yourself. Honestly, like if you meditate, do that. If you want to just check in and like breathe and try and slow down, that's when you can actually like give your intuition a chance to speak to you or let yourself feel, because we're so busy, we're so distracted, we're never free, we're constantly doing things. I definitely am like this sometimes, that it's like we don't take a second to slow down. How are we going to know? Like it's not just going to scream over all of that noise. Like we have to consciously like create space for our intuitions to then present themselves to us.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I would say this is actually a really cool exercise. If you look back on things in the past where whether you listened to your intuition or not, you had that feeling, let's say you listened, think of those examples. And also think of the examples where you didn't listen. Because I think we can all think back, like even the example I gave about the business venture, I knew that was intuition. I luckily listened. Either way, I would have known and I would have seen the outcome. If we can look back on instances where it's been clear and we've either followed through or not, we can kind of start to see like, okay, that's what it feels like. That's Look what happened when I followed it. Look what happened when I didn't. Like, what did we learn from that? Pinpointing that is cool to see the pattern and like, okay, if that happens again, maybe I'll be more aware of it. Just like notice when it's happened, because it's happened to all of us.
It's happened to all of us. This podcast is a product of listening to my intuition because my attack thoughts were telling me, keep at acting, keep at it.
I remember
my intuition was that told me like, just because this thing has been what you wanted to do since you were 4, that doesn't mean that it's going to be what you want to do all the time. And right now you want to do this.
Yeah.
But my attack thoughts were like, but this is all I've ever wanted to do. I have to keep doing. And my intuition was like, hey, you can always go back to that. Right now you want to start this podcast. And like every time I was being sent auditions, like I would literally get annoyed because they took away from working on this and working on my book. And every time I was being sent that, I would literally, and like, it was like, you're getting annoyed when you should be excited. You're getting annoyed when you have to do the work. That's listening to your attack thoughts to keep doing it.
For sure. And like, again.
Oh my God, I just realized something else I needed to turn on.
Ooh, wait, that's cute. Just one lines up. I like that.
I know, it's so pretty. I forgot to turn on the intro
now it's
episode
on.
Too, but now it's on.
Everybody
I'll never
noticed.
forget that again. It
was a light bulb moment. That's why we turned it on there.
Isn't that so pretty?
It is really pretty.
It feels like Christmas.
It's cute.
Feels like Christmas. I love the holidays and we're getting into that time of year. That's why right now it's 75 and sunny, but it was raining.
And we decided to be in sweatsuits.
It was rainy.
Oh no, we did it again. We were like, what are we wearing? Actually, no. We just said what we were going to do.
Yes, we just said what we were going to do. It was raining this morning and it's October 3rd.
I'll allow it. I'm a guest on your podcast.
It's October 3rd. And I was like, today's giving fall festive, so sweatpants.
I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, last thing about listening to intuition, as I stated previously. The thoughts that are attack thoughts are going to be rooted in fear and negativity and probably not make you feel very good. So that's one way like you can kind of see if it's intuition or attack thoughts, where like I said, intuition are all from love and groundedness. And it might, again, steer you in a direction that's scary and hard and that you don't really want to do, like you were saying with acting. But that in itself is not going to be a fearful thought or like a lack thought, because the ego loves attack thoughts. The ego does not love intuition.
And once you listen to your intuition, even if you are making a decision that is going to result in creating more work for yourself in some way,
you'll feel peace.
You will always feel relieved. No, you'll always feel relieved. You'll always feel peace. Like it will be like, this feels right. Even if it's something like choosing to make a job change or like go to a school, like you'll be like, this feels right. This is what I needed to do. And you'll feel relieved.
Yeah, I was going to say, even in something as like emotionally charged as like a breakup. Obviously, like just because you have intuition to break up with someone or not or whatever does not mean that you won't experience sadness and like heartache and all of that. Because sure, the decisions you make, that's a byproduct of it, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. And I almost want to say there's still that sense of knowing that it was the right decision. You might question it, obviously, when things are really emotionally charged. It's not easy, but it's not going to be rooted in fear. It's going to be rooted in like a deeper knowing.
You can still be sad about something and know it's the right decision. You can still, the right decision can make you really sad.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely.
For sure.
Yeah. Like I'm currently thinking about doing I'm currently thinking about doing something. We'll offline about what exactly it is. But I'm currently thinking about doing something, and I know what the right decision is, and I know what my intuition is telling me to do. So that's what I'm going to do. But I know it's going to cause some not great energy.
Well, now I can't wait to go offline.
I know, but it's going to be not within myself. It's going to cause me to be on the receiving end of some not great energy.
Well,
but if
let's not put that out there.
But let's not put that out there. But if I chose the decision that would create, if I chose to do the thing that would, the danger is, and I think this applies to lots of things that a whole.
I'm wearing mismatched socks. Hopefully no one can see. No one look at my socks.
No, it makes you, that's so quirky. It's so quirky.
Such a quirky girl.
Such a quirky girl. Oh my God. No, this applies to like a lot bigger things. I am so fucking sick of keeping the peace. And listen, sometimes the peace needs to be kept, I won't lie. But I think when people get into the habit of keeping the peace way too much, they wound up allowing bad things to go on. And I say all the time that I'm so fucking sick of keeping the peace. Like, I just want to stand for something sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, when you keep the peace, you're basically putting, not always, but external people's needs and feelings above your own. Because if you really have a problem with something or you don't want to do something, you're basically saying, I care more about these other people than I do myself. So external harmony versus internal harmony.
Yes.
And like, no. That.
And I'm not encouraging you to always be reactive and always have a reaction. There are some moments where it's definitely fine to keep the peace. For example, at family holidays, I'm going to tell my family not to listen to the sex episode.
Hi, Mom.
So this isn't the sex episode, so I forgot that. Okay, so family. All right, family, listen. You have to hear this. At family holidays, sometimes when like political things have been brought up, my mom knows how I can be. So she's literally told me beforehand, do not react. Like, do not react. Like
choosing your battles is important.
When people say shit, and like, I'm like, and like the whole thing is like, that is, as much as that feisty girl in me wants to react sometimes, like keeping the peace at a family holiday, it's like,
again, there's a time and place for everything. Choose your battles. Sometimes it might make things more difficult for you, but we all have those boundaries and thresholds.
You don't always
that we
need to be right
on.
About everything.
Right. Yeah. Or you don't always need to get everybody to agree with you.
You don't need to always get everyone to agree with you, one. And then I want to edit that something. Well, we don't always need to be right about everything. But like, you're allowed to be wrong about stuff. But also, you don't need to prove to everyone that you're right about things. Which I'm trying to get better at. Because sometimes when I'm right about something and no one's like agreeing, I just want to like campaign. Like, here are the facts, I'm right. But you have to get better at just like, you don't need to prove to everyone that you're right.
Yeah.
Let other people, everyone's entitled to their own wrong opinion.
That's a quote. Put that on a pillow.
Everyone's entitled to their own wrong opinion. I forget where that's from, but that's
not a Gabriella trademark.
I wish it was a Gabriella trademark. It's from something like 20 years ago.
I feel like the statute of limitation is passed. It's yours now.
Yeah, it's mine now. Everyone's
it.
entitled to their own wrong opinion.
Or Gabriella.
No, I believe actually
for the first time.
I believe actually the quote is "You're entitled to your own wrong opinion." So
Semantics.
Everyone's entitled to their own wrong opinion.
We made it our own.
It's mine.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Everyone is entitled to their own wrong opinion.
Listen, I feel like I'm pretty good at this.
I thought of something, but I'm purposely not saying it to keep the peace. Not with you.
Keeping the peace.
Not with you, but with listeners. What were we?
Don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. Okay.
The people-pleasing vibe of
hey man, this is your show. I'm just along for the ride.
I mean, we had a great conversation.
Take me home. Where do you want to go from here?
Take me home. One Direction, their second album. You know what? The formation of One Direction was intuition. Let me tell you, the formation of One Direction was intuition. I have
no idea about this.
The formation of One Direction. Nick, you are definitely putting this in the podcast. The formation of One Direction was intuition because they were all sent home at the X Factor. It was like whatever week.
Wait, why?
Because the X Factor, it's like you first have your auditions and then you get sent to boot camp and then people make it to the live show, blah, blah,
They didn't make it to the live show?
No, they were all as individuals. Like they auditioned separately.
Oh.
Yeah,
wait,
they auditioned. Oh my God, do you not know?
No, I don't know.
Okay, One Direction formation was about intuition. So they all auditioned. They are a manufactured boy band who are better than the Beatles. I said it. People are going to come for me.
Lots of controversial opinions here.
People are going to come for me. But so they're all from Niall's from Ireland. The other four of them, Harry, Louis, Liam, Niall, Zayn. Harry, Leo, Louis, Liam, Zayn are all from various parts of England. They all auditioned separately as solo acts. They all made it to boot camp, which I, to be quite honest, don't know how, because you watch some of those audition videos back and like, don't get me wrong, Zayn and Liam should have gone to boot camp. And Niall. Louis, absolutely not. Harry, I don't want to say he shouldn't have gone to boot.
The most famous one.
It was very mid. You knew he wasn't making it to the live show as a solo act. That's what I'll say. So they all went to boot camp. They all got sent home individually. And as they're leaving, Simon Cowell says that he made the decision in about 10 minutes. Really, the full formation video was leaked. Nicole Scherzinger of the Pussycat Dolls is who made the decision.
To send them home?
No. To form them into a band.
Oh.
And she took these 5 guys. She was like, I want these 5. Simon Cowell claims it was him. It was Nicole Scherzinger. She was like, I think these 5 guys should be a group. It was intuition.
Interesting.
It was intuition. One Direction was intuition. She was like, really I think we should
Sometimes it just feels right.
Sometimes it just feels right. Like, and listen, that felt fucking right.
Real good.
That felt real good for a lot of people. A lot of people.
That's
But One Direction was formed by intuition. A woman's intuition. Nicole Scherzinger's intuition. Ain't nothing like a woman's intuition.
Know.
And then Simon Cowell tried to take credit for it.
Yeah, well. Just another man trying to take credit for woman's intuition.
Just another man trying to take credit.
I'm kidding. I do love men. Just gonna get that out there. I'm not trying to hate on men. Men are great. Gabriella has nothing to say about that, except she'll show you her sweatshirt.
I will adjust my sweatshirt.
We won't even say what it says.
Okay. All the people who are listening to it will have record this on the day Taylor says.
It was actually mine, and I didn't even know.
That Taylor
it was serendipitous.
It was serendipitous that today I have the support of Queen Taylor. Her last one for a bit.
I didn't even know a new album was coming out. Yeah, I said it.
You're allowed, but
I'm
you're allowed to say that. You're allowed to say that. Well, because I also think she only announced it like a month ago. But this is going to be her last one for like a few years.
I was at pickleball last night, and some of my friends were like, we have to go listen. And I was like, listen to what? And they were like, we're all sitting down and we're listening to Taylor Swift's new album. And as someone who's not privy to Taylor Swift news, that felt so weird. But apparently it's not a weird thing.
Yeah, no, I have 2 movie tickets to like, there's like a whole little party that they're having at the movies. It's like, I don't know
when
what
are you
exactly
going?
It is. On Sunday.
Dang.
I have no one to bring with me. So I have 2 tickets and I have no one to bring. And I'm just like, and I feel like that's such, because it's only 3 days. So like the amount of theaters and the amount of tickets sold are quite limited. So I feel like to have one that's not filled is incredibly
I feel like
wasted.
to throw my hat in the ring after I just said, yeah, I don't know anything about Taylor Swift is just messed up.
I mean,
that's so funny, though.
I mean, it's going to be...
What even is it?
It's a part... Well, it's like a party, they call it. It's going to be like...
What are you... Why is it a theater?
If you want to come, it's going to be like a series of music videos, I believe, for her entire album. And it's like
Are they
supposed
released?
to be a party. No.
How'd you get tickets?
The internet.
Oh, you like bought them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they were only like $20. It wasn't like it's a movie theater ticket.
Anyone out there like Taylor Swift, this isn't going to be live by then.
No, this isn't going to be live by then. Can you give me an example of one time that you have listened to your intuition and one time that you haven't? And like what time there were those? Yes. I want to talk a little bit about the times we haven't and it's gone fucking terrible.
Well, I think I did give an example earlier about when I did the business venture.
Yes.
I felt a very strong sense of don't. So when I haven't, I would say probably the easiest example is dating. Obviously, I've had past boyfriends and stuff. There was one a long time ago where we had gone on like, I don't know, I want to say like 3 dates. And for me personally, if you get past the first date, it's a pretty good sign. Like I would say it's like 80% do not, just because I can very much tell if I'm into somebody or not.
Oh, please. If you get past the first date, that's such a win. I just had my first Hinge date make it past the first date. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And he's the first to I've had like, I don't know how many Hinge dates. I've probably seen like
hundreds.
20. No, I've probably gone on first Hinge dates with like probably 15 people. In between 15 and 20 over years. Like since my first Hinge date was when I was 22 or 23. So since then, I've probably gone on like 15 to 20. I'm 27 now. And this is the first person to make it past the first. And I had something on my profile about like making it past the first. And a lot of people responded to that like, I'm going to be the one to make it past the first. None of them are.
We love confidence.
He did. And as I was leaving, I said, you did it. You can have a second date.
I don't remember what I was talking about now. Oh, yeah.
We were talking about a time where you didn't listen to your intuition.
So I feel like I've had this in most relationships. I just bring this up because I feel like it's the hardest to listen to intuition when you're really emotionally invested in connections. They're hard to let go. In this specific example, we had like 2 dates or 3, whatever. They were good. And it was fun. Like, I wasn't like, wow, I think I'm going to like marry this person. But I was like having a good time, enjoying it, all positive signs. And I woke up after a 3rd date the next day and I was driving to work and I was like so happy after it, whatever, the night before. And I felt like a very strong sense where it was just like, he is not for you. Like, he's just not for you. Not even a negative feeling, not a positive feeling, but I just knew. And I was like, that knowing in itself made me like sad. And I was like, wait, huh? Like, this is kind of fun. Like, what the heck? Like, and for me, like, my time is really valuable. I don't even want to call it a waste of time because I think every relationship and connection you learn from. But I was like,
regret is just a waste of energy.
Like, like, that's weird because everything like seemed to be going so well. I tried to logic my way out of it. And I was like, well, there's no harm in like still seeing them, even if I know that, like I'm basically not trying to listen. I didn't listen. And nothing like terrible happened, but like it definitely was a dramatic ending when I finally did. More dramatic than it would have been if I would have just done it then. Definitely like I was in some turmoil. Like he didn't react like super well. Like again, nothing crazy. People have had much worse. So I feel lucky, but it caused me like pain in some way that would not have happened if I would have listened. And then in my most recent relationship, I also had a point where he's great guy. External factors kind of like affected things. And I was like meditating and just not even about that, just in general. And I had such another clear sense where it was like, he's not for you right now, or in general, like he's not for you. He's like doing everything he can. This is not about you, but like you have to let him go. It was like basically like let him go.
Yeah.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
And I did not want to do that. I really didn't. I was like, wait, come again? Like, are we sure though? Like, are we positive?
Yeah.
And I for sure didn't like, in the time between when we actually like broke up versus that, probably like a month and a half, 2 months, which isn't a super long time, but like substantial, I would say, because
where you tried to.
It was like tough during that time for me, right? Like I could have saved myself. I mean, I would have been suffering in a different way, but you know what I mean? I could have saved myself from anxiety and just like not feeling good enough, all those things.
But honestly, only 1.5 to 2 months is great.
I've gotten a lot better. And I've done that too. In my early 20s, like I've done that as well, where it's been long and I've known. And again, sometimes it's not our choice either. Like the other person will end it and it's like almost like, okay, well, at least like now I'm forced to listen, you know, whether I was the one that did that or not. But yeah, so in this example, I had the very strong sense of like, it is not you. It's not about you, but you have to let him go. Sure. But like, and I didn't want to let him go.
Yeah. No.
Because he's great. But yeah, I would have saved myself a lot of just like feeling bad for no reason if I would have listened to that earlier. And it was such like a pivotal, like I wrote it down and then I went back on it like months later after we'd broken up and I was like, I knew in this point. And again, I needed to like go through those months, whatever, like they all happened for a reason. I'm happy that it did ultimately. Yeah. But I was like, wow, what would it be like if when I have these inclinations and I feel this strong intuitive voice, if I just listened then? It's hard again, right? Like that's what I was saying before. I would say the ultimate goal of intuition is to decrease the amount of time between your intuition and action.
Yeah.
Your time's like out here, it's like, okay, whatever. We're all going through it, we're learning. But like, what if it were like instant?
Yeah.
Or what if it were like a day or 2 days instead of months or years or however, or never listening?
Never listening.
That's my goal with myself personally, because it is scary. Because again, oftentimes it's not always like, I want to do this thing and my intuition's backing me up, so I'm going to do it. It's like, I don't want to do this, or I'm scared to do this, or this is going to be hard in some way.
It's not usually...
And my intuition's telling me
It's not usually easy to listen to your intuition.
Sure.
Because people a lot of times like think you're fucking crazy. And then I love being proved
you know it's going to cause some other sort of turmoil, which like, we're human. Like we're here to feel the full circle of emotion, good and bad.
Exactly. I mean, I don't want to say I'm in the middle because I kind of am, but somebody recently, just also using the guy example, and then we'll stop using the dating example.
Well, I think it's relevant to people.
Someone recently, it's relevant to people, where I was like, there's all these good qualities about XYZ, and like, I really, 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 really do like him. And someone said to me that I was talking to, they were like, but do you like this? Like, do you like fuck the person? Like, fuck the person, not actually fuck the person, but like for actually fuck the person. No, but forget the person. Do you like the facts of the play? Mm-hmm. like, do you like the facts of the play? And I was like,
You? It was a you situation? Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, but yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, dating is just... It's a good example because it's a really hard
the thing with this podcast we have to be careful about is and using boys as an example is sometimes they're still around.
I have only good things to say about everybody that I've dated.
I have only lovely things to say.
Truly, like I would hope they feel the same about me, but who knows?
Yes, who knows?
But yeah, no. Those are my examples. Obviously, I could think of more, but those were probably the most recent. What about you?
I'm trying to think of an example that I haven't listened to my intuition. There are many.
Plenty, probably.
There are probably plenty. You can even probably poke. Well, I gave the example about how this podcast was born out of listening to my intuition.
What about when you didn't listen and like what I just explained, where you didn't listen and then obviously things happen anyway, and then you're like, okay, well, I knew that.
And this
I wish I would have done this.
This happened anyway.
I was going to say another example I hear from a lot of clients is the example of jobs. where maybe you're in a job that you really don't like, but you've been in it for a long time and you're good at it and it's stable and it's good enough, but you have a feeling like either you're actively unhappy or you're mildly unfulfilled and you just know that there's more, or there's like something you want to try or pursue and you're feeling nudged. That's also really scary. Like when money's involved, when emotions are involved, all that, high stakes for people. And you kind of have two options, like to listen to that or to not. And to me, it's really scary to not listen. Like if you're going to ignore your intuition in those ways, your life can look drastically different than what it might have looked like if you were in touch with your intuition. Yeah. And for me, it's like, I never want to go down that road where I'm like so far deep and not listening that it feels impossible to get to the other side of it. Like, I think for work, again, fulfillment, that's a big one. And it's scary.
It's so
really
scary. It's so scary. But just going back to times I haven't listened, I can think of so many times where I've just been like, why the fuck did I say yes to this? And like, and I mean like something small, like going to a dinner, or like going just something really small, where you're just like, I didn't want to say yes to this. Why did I say yes to this? I am such an extroverted extrovert, and part of protecting my peace is like
extroverted introvert, introverted extrovert.
I'm an extroverted extrovert.
What's that mean? Isn't that just an extrovert?
No. So
extroverted
extrovert, introverted extrovert, extroverted introvert, introverted introvert.
I thought you were having like a typo.
So extroverts get their energy off of people. Introverts get their energy like being alone, recharging. And then an extroverted extrovert is like, they get their energy off of other people. And also when they're there, main character energy. Like they're out, or not even main character energy.
That is the most Gabrielle thing I've ever heard.
A lot of extroverted extroverts like to think they have main character energy, but
I don't understand how that's not just an extrovert.
Because there are a lot of introverted extroverts who they get their energy from other people. They like going to things, like they like going out, but when they're out, they're not the one that the conversation is always them. They're just there to have a good time. They're chill.
All right, I'll agree with you.
I'm trying to think of an example of like an introverted extrovert.
I mean, I feel like I might be that, but bitch, I'm the main character too. So I don't know what you're saying.
Exactly. Well,
I don't know what you're saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Extroverts all think they're the main character. Now, some, that thought is correct, but some, that thought is grossly wrong.
So Gabrielle is an extrovert. Let's move on with the story.
She's Pick me girls tend to be extroverted extroverts.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, if that makes sense. No, but like,
what do you think I am?
I think you are. If I had to, well, you do like being around people, but you also like your time to like yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
What gives you energy?
Like both. I don't know. Both. That's the thing. When I want to be around people, like, and I'm there, I get energized. But if I'm like down and out and I'm tired, that will make me feel worse. I don't think it's like one or the other. That's why I'm like, I have no idea. I'm divergent.
I think I would say.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know if I would say an extroverted introvert who's great at protecting their energy. No, and I don't know if I would say an extroverted introvert or an extroverted extrovert who's great at protecting their energy, because they're really good at protecting their energy.
Yeah, I've gotten there.
This is what I was going to say about intuition.
We can go back now, Nick.
Is I'm an introverted introvert. So I used to be like, you asked me to do something, I was there. Even if it was something that I didn't necessarily want to go to. Yeah, I had such bad FOMO. Listening to your intuition is getting rid of FOMO. It's deciding, it's learning how to protect your energy. It is learning how to like, now I've gotten so much better about like when I'm asked to go to certain things, or sometimes I'll be talking to my mom and I'm like, yeah, I don't really have plans this weekend. And she's like, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? Or why don't you do this? Or go here or go there or do this thing. And I'm like, and I've like been like really thought about it. And I know I'm an extrovert, but there have been times where I'm like, lately protecting my energy, where I'm like, I would honestly be happier sitting at home by myself and making progress working on my book than going to that thing.
Yeah, I feel that way a lot. Where I'm like, I would honestly rather do nothing. then do that. Yeah. Like, I just don't want to. And you don't even have to justify. That's the thing. Like, intuition also, you can't justify it. One, because like half the time it's not logical. It won't make sense to anyone else. Also, you shouldn't have to try. Yeah. I think we often like look for explanations from people, which is fair. But in some circumstances, it's just, I'm not doing this, or I'm doing this, or I'm ending things with this guy, or I'm leaving this job. And it's like, there's not a whole list of like why. It's like, because
I want to.
And like, I know that that's what's best for me.
Yeah.
End of story. Like, we are so used to having to like justify and convince others, not even because they have bad intentions, but that's just how we are as a society, that I feel like just making a decision without any explanation is very rare.
Yeah. Someone recently said to me, by recently, I mean like literally a few hours ago, they said, like this morning, after Battleground.
Me? No,
yeah, after Battleground, they said they're currently taking a class they were talking about on like emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about how when you over-explain yourself and you over-justify what it is you're doing, you take power away from knowing that you're making the right decision. Mm-hmm. Because if you know that you made the right decision, you just make it. And you just say that you made it. When you over-explain,
you want validation.
You take away power from that decision, and you show that you're like, I'm not actually sure about this decision.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really good point.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, again, I keep saying as women because I am a woman. So it's like the only thing I can draw from. But I know that we do that a lot.
But also women just have crazy strong intuition.
We do. I'm just saying we also justify a lot, I think.
Women just know.
We know, and we're taught not to know.
We're
taught not to trust it.
We just know.
We do.
And we're taught not to trust it. But anyway, trust your intuition. So often with our intuition and like the issue and how we've talked about not listening to outside pressure and like how you can get outside pressure. What are tips you have for staying strong in your decision amidst outside pressure? Because you sometimes might you either finally make the decision and you still have people telling you that's the wrong decision, or you just leading up to it have to get the courage to make the decision amidst outside pressure who are all like, this is a bad fucking idea. What are you doing?
Okay, I have a lot of thoughts. I would say the first thing is like, it's a muscle, right? The more you listen and the more you do, the better track record you'll have. So as you build that up and you are able to prove it to yourself, the outside voices won't faze you as much because you'll say, okay, when I listened to my intuition in XYZ drink, it worked out. Or when I listened to my intuition in this situation, it was fine and people were telling me. So you kind of just, there you go. You kind of just learn to trust yourself more. And like, there's no shortcut to trusting yourself. Yeah. You just have to do it. Which I wish that there was a shortcut.
There's no shortcut to trusting yourself. You just have to do it. I like that a lot.
I said that.
Yeah.
Put that on a sweatshirt with your other saying.
With everyone's entitled to their own wrong decisions.
Yeah. I would also say it kind of ties back to like who you have in your inner circle and who you allow to like give input. Well, it'll be even more important when things like this, because you want your circle to ideally, they might not agree with you, but you want people who are going to support and understand. Yeah. Support and understand that you do know what's best for you. And I think the people you surround yourselves with, not everybody cares or understands that. If they're not in touch with themselves, how they're not going to trust you. You know, like it's very important who you have around you.
Yeah.
In situations like that.
Always remember that everyone's on their own journey. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people need to figure them out things out for themselves. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you blatantly know that they're making the wrong decision. Everyone's on their own journey and they need to figure it out for themselves. So like, let them do that.
You
like
have to learn.
Unless someone is going to make an insanely unsafe decision that you're like, no, do not make. Obviously stop someone.
With caveats and all of this.
Yeah, obviously there are caveats to that. But like, always remind yourself everyone's on their own decision and everyone's on their own journey.
Yeah. I would also lastly say
they're entitled to their wrong opinion.
They are entitled to their wrong opinion. Yeah. I would say also that this kind of goes back to people pleasing or what we were talking about, but you have to decide, like, do you value the input of others more than you value your own input? Like, where do you stand on that hierarchy? if you trust yourself and you're really firm in that, or you even want to get to that point, like, because most of us aren't there yet. But if I'm saying, you know what, I want to trust myself over other people, like I want to be the voice that I listen to, regardless of how well-intentioned others are. I'm number one. Then like you have to remember that. And those outside voices, like they're going to be ranked below that, as they should most of the time. So I would say those are some key things that we can take with us when we're trying to say, okay, I've made the choice. Now, how do I deal with the backlash, if any? There might not be any, too. Again, a lot of times don't care as much as you think they care.
A lot of times you over-catastrophize and you think that people's response is going to be way worse than it is. A lot of times people just don't care.
Yeah. And I think also sometimes if a situation is bad enough, which I hope it doesn't get there for somebody, but if it is bad enough, it won't matter what people say, because you will say, you know what, this is not right for me. This is not it. And I know that this is not it. And I've gotten to the breaking point and I'm making this choice. And I've been there too.
Yeah.
And it's like nobody else is experiencing what you're experiencing. Who are they to tell you?
Exactly. No one else is living your life. We are all the main characters of our own story. We are not the main characters of other people's stories.
We're all the extroverted extroverts of our own story. We're all the
extroverted extroverts of our own story.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I would say to that.
Yeah. So it's like,
mic drop.
How would you know you're not me?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's why I think
what we're going to offline about slightly has to do with that.
Well, what I was going to say with coaching too, a lot of times people come to me, they're like, are you going to tell me exactly what to do to fix my life?
No.
And I'm like, no, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions that we're going to go through together and make you really think about it.
Oh my God.
I'm not you.
It's so
You've said this to
annoying.
me. You're like, hey, just tell me though. Hey girl, just tell me.
She
gets
me there.
And then I'm like, well, what would you? And you're like, not another question.
She gets me there.
How it goes.
And I've had a lot of breakthroughs.
Yeah, you have.
I've had a lot of
amazing.
Breakthroughs.
Who am I to tell you?
Yeah.
I'm not you. Also, it's like not powerful if it comes from me just telling you and you following marching orders. That's not how change happens.
Yeah, it's and that's also practice in getting better at trusting. If you're trying to get better at trusting yourself, then your opinion takes priority. Mm-hmm. Your own opinion about yourself takes priority.
Right. Nobody's going to tell you, nobody's going to give you that blueprint. That's easy. And that's not how things go. It's so much more rewarding and powerful. And you'll be able to do it again in other situations if you come to those conclusions on your own and make those choices.
Yeah. Now, if your intuition is telling you to intentionally hurt another person, don't do that.
Again, all of this is generally speaking.
All this is generally speaking.
I trust everybody to know.
Generally speaking. And that's actually probably an attack thought, because your intuition is always grounded in love. So it would never tell you to hurt another.
Yeah, guys. Unless it's self-defense. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
We're not going to go there. Okay, my last question. I didn't give you this to think about in advance because I kind of wanted to put you on the spot. Good. We're continuing the same thing from last season, where recommend something. Recommend something. A piece of content, a book, a stand-up show, a movie
that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure I say this right.
You can recommend whatever you want.
Okay. My friend and I were having a conversation about this the other day, and it's one of my favorite quotes, and I just feel like it's really powerful. We can do with it what you will. And I've said this to you in sessions. We don't get what we deserve. We get what we allow.
I love that. We don't get what we deserve. We get what we allow.
Surrounding boundaries. And I mean, it could be tied to intuition, right? If we know something isn't for us.
That definitely is tied to intuition. I don't deserve this.
I deserve better. Okay. Well, you're not going to get what you deserve. You're going to get what you allow.
Definitely don't. Yeah, that's definitely tied into intuition. We don't get what we deserve. We get what we allow.
Boundaries, intuition, all that good stuff. Thank you. Beautiful. I wish I could say that I made that up, but I don't think I did.
That's beautiful. That's a great.
I think about that a lot.
I love that. Oh my
Thanks.
God,
Oh my God.
That's
God. It's almost like I do this for people. It's like weird.
It's weird. It's almost like you're a life.
Almost like, yeah. Wouldn't that be crazy?
I know, that'd be insane. Anyway, before we go, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me. I don't know why that sounded so funny to me. Where can you find me? You can contact me with my email in the show notes. Gabriella will put that in there. And you can also find me on Instagram at everafterwithdom. And probably walking around at your local pickleball court.
Oh my God.
If you're going to look there.
And guys, like, subscribe, review. A new thing that I am pushing my listeners to do is to sign up for my newsletter on GabriellaRebranded.com. Sign up for that newsletter, GabriellaRebranded.com. But until then, like, subscribe. I'm on Instagram at Gabriella Rebranded, on TikTok at Gabriella Rebranded. Kind of making some progress on the TikTok, which is cool. We're going, other than that, I'm on YouTube if you're listening and you want to watch instead. I'm on all the streaming platforms.
You should want to watch.
You should want to watch. We are an attractive bunch. But other than that, guys, this has been Gabriella Rebranded. Win most, lose some. And if you guys have any topics you would like to see me cover in an episode, please write to me. Leave them on my Instagram. We're going to do a cool Q&A episode this season.
I love that.
I know.
I'll be sure to write some questions.
A Q&A, yeah.
The hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's great. That's amazing. I don't know why I'm doing this. I am.
Get that on camera.
All right, guys. Thank you so much and goodbye.
Woo, bye.